All right, guys, so we have a couple more we're going to do. So we are going to say that this is 3/4 of an inch. And then this rectangle right here is going to be 2 and then a half. So it's 2 inches and then 1/2 of an inch. So we're going to find out the area of this one and this one. So 2 times 3/4. So 2 times 3/4. Remember, multiply straight across. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 4 is 4. That's going to be 1 2/4, or 1 1/2 of an inch. Okay, 3/4 times 1/2, 3/8. So this is 3/8 of an inch, inches squared. And then I'm going to add these up. So I'm going to do 1 1/2 plus 3/8. All I want to do is convert this into that common denominator, to make it an equivalent fraction. And I get 1 4/8 plus 3/8. And when I add this together, 4 plus 3 is going to be 7/8 inches squared is the area of this one. Okay. Moving on to this next one, I'm going to do this little teeny tiny side, which is 1/2 of an inch. Okay. And then this one is, here's that 3 inches. And then this is going to be 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So I'm basically going to multiply 3 times 1/2. So 3 times 1/2 equals 3/2, or 1 1/2 squared. Okay. Then I need to do 3/4 times 1/2 equals 3/8 inches squared. Oh, if you kind of notice, aren't these the same measurements? They are, except that the rectangle is a little bit different because this is 2 1/2 inches by 3/4 of an inch. This is 1/2 of an inch by 3 3/4 of an inch. So even though the rectangle's areas are going to be the same, they are different measurements. But I know that 1 1/2 plus 3/8 okay, so all I did was created a common denominator here and created equivalent fractions, and then I added them together. Okay, it says find the area of rectangles with the following dimensions and explain your thinking using an area model. So here's what I have. Okay, and I'm not going to like worry and like, oh, this is how it needs to be. Like, I'm not having you guys draw this to scale. Okay, so I know that I have 1 foot, and then over here I have 1 foot and then a 1/2 foot. So all I basically did, guys, is I'm just kind of separating that whole number from the fraction when I do this. So I know 1 times 1 is 1 foot squared. 1 times 1/2 is 1/2 foot squared. And if I add these up together, the area is going to be 1 1/2 foot squared. Okay, same thing over here. Okay, I'm going to make 1 yard, but then I'm going to split it and do a 1/2 yard down here. And then same thing here, I'm going to do 1 yard, and I'm going to do a 1/2 yard here. So now I can go ahead and multiply. So 1 yard times 1 yard is 1 yard squared. 1 yard times a 1/2 yard is going to be a 1/2 yard squared. A 1/2 yard times, a 1/2 yard times 1 yard is going to be 1/2 yard squared. And then a 1/2 yard times a 1/2 yard. So when I do 1/2 times 1/2, multiply straight across, I get 1/4 of a yard. Okay, yard squared. So now I need to add these up. 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/4, common denominators, plus 1 plus 2/4 plus 2/4 plus 1/4. And if some of you guys could have already seen that right here, I could have just added these two together to make 1, you could have done that. Okay, so then I know that I have 1 and 1 plus 5/4. 5/4 is actually 1 1/4. So when I add these together, the area of this model is 2 1/4 of a yard squared. okay? So it's a lot of math, but you guys can do this, okay? So here I'm gonna go ahead and draw this one, and I'm gonna say this is 2 yards times 1/2 of a yard. Then I've got 1 yard and 3/16 of a yard, okay? So 1 times 2 is 2 yards squared. 1 times 1/2 is 1/2 yard squared. Then this one is 3/16 times 2. So I'm going to do 3/16 times 2. So remember, just multiply straight across. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6, or sorry, 16 times 1 is 16 yard squared. And then I'm going to do 3/16 times 1/2. I'm going to get 3, and then 16 times 2 is 32. Okay, so this is 3/32 of a yard. Okay, so then I'm going to add all of these up, and I do have to come up with common denominators, which is going to be 32. And I know that I can get 32 because I know that 16 times 2 is going to be 32. So I multiply this times 2. And I know that if I take 2 times 16, that's going to give me 32 as well. Okay, so I'm going to have 2 plus 12/16 plus 16, 12/32 plus 16/32 plus 3/32. And when I add these together, 12 plus 16 plus 3, I get 2 and 31/32 yards squared. So nice that I don't have to simplify down any further.